Good evening. I'm so sorry that I had people in the waiting room. I was just finishing up another. I didn't know I had people. I didn't know I was having a waiting room. Sorry. We'll get you all in here. Good evening. It looks like we're getting a lot of people. Excellent. I'm just going to wait another minute or so. Welcome if you're just joining in. We're just going to wait a couple more minutes and then we will start. So this will be recorded and it will be then uploaded to the website. So then you'll be having access to it to go back to if you need to. And then just so you know that the handbook, the parent handbook, has been added to the website as well under Handbook and Forms tab. And so our hard copy is being printed. And we will have those available to send home with your kids, hopefully in the next week. So you'll be able to still access it on the website though. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna go through the list here and see who might be missing. I'm going to go ahead and start just because I want to make sure we get through every little bit of information and then also leave some time at the end for questions. So thanks for joining me tonight. We thought this would be an easier way, given the circumstances, to have everybody getting the information that they need just from the comfort of your home. And that way, again, it is recorded for future viewing. So I just want to say thank you for believing in what we have here at Shepherd's Flock and believing in what we have put in place for your kids and for you as families to welcome the kids back. If you've been here before or welcome you for the first time, that I just really do feel blessed that you believe in everything that we stand for and what we have in place, like I said, for you to be a part of our program. I'm feeling very confident with what we do have in place, given the information that I have, in order to go forward and reopen our doors and be in person. We are so excited. The teachers have been so busy the last couple of days getting classrooms set up, the names on the kids' cubbies, getting bulletin boards up, and the energy level in our space the last couple of days have been so amazing. And we've had a lot of fun just getting ourselves back into the rhythm of being here. So excited to have you joining us in the next couple of days and then starting classes next week. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a prayer though that I feel like sums up what I've been feeling the last few months getting ready and just kind of what the season that we're in. I'm going to go ahead and start with a prayer. Father, we are here today to celebrate great success. In a world full of chaos and calamity, we are embracing a moment of triumph in your name and for your glory. Amen. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just start our slideshow here, and I'm going to do it with an introduction of our teaching staff. We've got teachers that have been here. This will be their first year. We have teachers that have been here for over 17 years. And so the majority of us have been here for more than 1 or 2 years. The reason we have some new ones is because we have added this full day class and we needed to have some staff for it. So the 2 teachers that I'll get to at the end of the slide, the 2 teachers that have joined the full day staff come to us. Actually, they taught together at a different full day class preschool. So they come together knowing each other, but they also come with a wealth of knowledge. I also come from programs that had full day programs. So I think we've set them up for success here of what we're offering. It really is not going to be a daycare. We want to make sure that this is called a full day preschool because we have every intention of being able to have that curriculum start at 8:50 and carry over throughout the rest of the day. And we also have kids that are joining us. There's 4 kids. And so just to clarify, those 4 kids are in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings. And we absorb them into this full day class because of the numbers were so low in that particular class. So we absorbed them into the full day class. So with that being said, the preschool morning will have a start time of 8:50 and an end time at 11:20. So then those kiddos in the morning do feel like there is a dismissal for them as they transition out for the day. And that is the same time that our full day kiddos would transition to a bathroom break and getting their things ready for lunchtime. So that will be the difference for this class, is just know that we'll have some friends coming right at 8:50, leaving at 11:20, and the rest of the kiddos would stay for the remainder of the day, just for clarification on that. So our teachers, just in case some of our teachers might have to be flexible and we have to sub in different areas. This is Miss Kelly. She's one of our long-standing teachers. She has so much energy and it's contagious. She's teaching our Tuesday, Thursday, 9 o'clock class. She's teaching an enrichment class in the afternoon, and she's also teaching another afternoon class Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you can see her cute little bee face shield. So we had so much fun taking pictures today. We all got face shields because we as teachers are going to choose to wear those. Mostly because more than one of us teach in different classes. So we want to make sure that we're protecting ourselves. But we thought we'd have fun with these masks because that way the child can see the whole face and we can feel silly with our masks, and the kids hopefully will feel a little bit less anxious to see us wearing something on our face. So just know that Miss Kelly might be buzzing around. Our next set of teachers, Miss Jen and Miss Emily, they are teaching Tuesday, Thursday, 9-10. We also have Miss Kay and Miss Emily. They are teaching Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock. Miss Kay has been here for, I think she's on her 20th or 21st year. Whoops, I skipped ahead. And Miss Emily has been here, I want to say 7 years or so. Then Miss Jessie and Miss Ann, they're teaching Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9-10 class. Miss Alyssa and Miss Kelly will be teaching that afternoon class. We have Miss Kay and Miss Amanda. They'll be teaching what we call Fab 5. I know some of us, we had talked about, we talked about having your kids go back and forth to Fab 5 and rejoining us. And then with commingling, we were told that that was not recommended. So the Fab 5 kiddos are some of your kids that are a little bit older. During the afternoon, if they are done resting, and I'll get to that nap policy, they will be able to go in the second classroom that adjoins the resting room and be able to be one with teacher over there doing some kind of kindergarten readiness and some quiet activities and maybe doing some writing and reading and things like that, just so you know that that will be supplemented during that time. And then here are 2 of the 3 teachers that will be in the full day room and the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday class in the purple room. So Miss Dawn is on the left, and she is from 8 to 4 during the full day. And she's also the assistant director and just kind of the program advisor for over there. And Miss Melissa on the right, she comes to us with a few years of experience in a full day preschool, and she happens to be a retired, which is silly to say at this age, right? She's a retired meteorologist. And I talked to some of you as parents to say, my excitement with her is so overwhelming because she will be doing STEAM activities with your students in the afternoon. And she's so excited to be bringing that lens to your kids to explore and do hands-on experiential learning with them in the afternoon. So I'm super excited about her. She'll be scheduled noon to 5. And then Miss Erin, we weren't able to get a picture of her in time, and she was gone today, but she will be the 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. and she will be overlapping then with Miss Melissa during that lunch hour. So those are our 3 core teachers. And then lastly, we have Miss Amy and Miss Carrie, who some of you may recognize as one of my co-teachers, and Miss Carrie did Lunch Bunch for a number of years. They are our substitute teachers due to needing to be at home with their kids for distance learning this year. So just to go over a mission statement, for some of you that are brand new to our program and some that are returning, we still just want to review this with you. Shepherd's Flock Preschool believes every child deserves the opportunity for a high quality educational experience. We offer physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual nurturing in a safe Christian environment, fostered and supported as part of the mission and ministry of Shepherd of the Lake Lutheran Church. And our philosophy really is, we want every child to be accepted as an individual, the whole child. We look to that whole child to make sure that we're embracing every bit of them. They learn through play, they learn through the mixture of us and child-initiated activities and that hands-on learning. We do incorporate that Christian faith into an everyday experience. Everything we do is infused with that Christian faith, of even how we interact with one another as co-teachers, all the way down to the kids, to the church staff, to the person that might be bringing the mail. So we do that with everything that we have. Children learn that they are nurtured and loved by God. Our activities promote language, literacy, math, science, arts, and large motor play. We create a high quality learning environment that enables every child to become a creative and confident thinker. And we partner with you as the families to support your child as they learn and develop throughout the next year. We at Shepherd's Flock use a curriculum called Creative Curriculum, and it's the basis of what we do. So it helps us form those lesson plans that we do monthly and weekly themes, and it helps us make sure that we're touching on all these bullet points within that curriculum for your child. We do offer 2 formal conferences twice a year. Well, that was redundant. 2 formal conferences twice a year. So we have 2 conferences twice a year. And anytime prior to that, in between that, after that, we always welcome to have conversations with you. So literally we have this open door policy, but with COVID, we have an open phone and email seesaw policy that we want to make sure if things are going on from your end and things are going on, from my end. Oh, I lost it. Hold on just a second. There we go. That we're working together as partners and celebrating all those joys that your child has, but there might be times that we just need to talk about things that we need to work on, decrease certain things, increase other things. So just know that throughout the year, we will have those conversations with you, making sure you are communicating with those teachers. Your child is here for a chunk of their day, right? And they're growing and changing. So we want to make sure that we're on top of all those changes to make them most successful and feel that they're in a happy, safe place to be able to explore and learn. So the program schedule, this will be for that 8:50 to 11:20 time period, that by 8:50, we are making sure we have the formal welcome. The sign-in will happen, I'll get to that in a little bit, the sign-up will happen at drop-off. So we'll do a formal welcome, then they get to have a little free play, and then they'll start with our first circle. In that first circle, we're going to do a prayer with them. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll do Hello Song and the themes, everything that's written there. And that's just kind of setting them up for the day of what the expectations are and what we're doing. And then we get to break out into these fun learning stations. And those are the different pieces that they'll be doing independently or in small groups with the teachers, to being able to hit on those big topics with that art, cognitive, fine motor, and such with that learning theme. Then we bring them back together for second circle, and that's when we get to do a little bit more movement and music and read a silly stories that tie into the theme. It could be the letter of the week. It could be the sharing bag when the kids are sharing things. We always provide a snack. And if you are in the full day program, then you know part of your tuition, it's the breakfast and 2 snacks that are provided. If you're part of the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday program, just know that your tuition covers the snack that they'll receive in the morning. And then the large motor, we always want to make sure our kids are moving and building those learning muscles as well. So we have a downstairs gym or lower great room that we have all sorts of manipulatives and fun things we do down there. And then we will try to be outside much more this year than ever before to make sure we get that fresh air, that they can run around out there. We've got this beautiful campus that we're going to utilize between our courtyard, between the playground, the pond, the walking path, the gazebo. All of those things will be incorporated into that large motor. And then it will be dismissal time for those 4-day-a-week program. So this is our big piece right here. I just wanted to make sure it was on the slide for those that are going to look at this after the fact, that the difference between the half and the full day. So you can go ahead and read that. And the biggest thing I want you to be aware of is that school year calendar that was distributed. There's 2 different colors. One is green, one is gray. And that will help you know if you are in the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday class, it will be considered half day. And those days differ from the full days. There may be some full days when the full days are meeting the Wednesday before Thanksgiving or the Wednesday before Christmas, but the half day class will not be. So just be very aware of that. Okay, this looks like a lot because we broke it down for you what the daily schedule is. I'm not going to go through every single one, but just know you can take a quick screenshot of this if you want, but know that when this gets more formalized, you will receive what that daily schedule looks like. And like I said, this will be archived on the website, so you can refer to that as well. So this is kind of in a nutshell from 7 to 5. If your child's with us that whole time, these are the different things that will be happening for their day. So we expect your kids to get kind of messy, right, while they play and learn. And so we ask that they dress for play. And so those favorite dresses, skirts, pants, whatever it would be, we ask, is that the best thing to wear to preschool today? And if the answer is yes, fabulous. Just know that there might be a day that a little paint gets on there that may not come out, or they get a little bit dirty on their knees, those kinds of things. We ask that they wear closed-toe shoes, just for the safety of those little toes, as well as when we go outside into the grass, the rock, the mulch, all of those things. We want you to label all clothing, especially when it comes to that outdoor clothing at wintertime for clothing and boots, but then also mark your school bags and your lunch bags for the kids. We ask that larger size backpack, just because we do a lot of activities that are on bigger pieces of paper, and they might need an extra lovey in there, whatever it would be. So the larger size backpack for them is really the best. We ask that you bring an extra change of clothes that are labeled and stored in a Ziploc bag in their backpack. And those are the recommended items to be in there. The reason is not only if they just have a toileting accident, but if they do truly become really quite wet on their sleeves, if they didn't roll them up all the way, if we're playing in the water table, or the front of them, even though they had the little waterproof aprons on, got wet. Or if they get slime on them, or if they get dirty, whatever it would be. So that way we can change them if they're feeling uncomfortable. They would have an extra change of clothes. So the children's arrival and dismissal are the next 2 slides. We did make some videos today showing what that entails for the drop off and pickup. And I'm gonna hopefully get those uploaded and out to you in the next couple of days, so then you know exactly what next Tuesday will look like. The gist of it is, we want you as parents to park safely first as you arrive. And then we are going to make sure that you are hooked up to our main communication this year, which will be the Seesaw app. And we will get you all set up and squared away with that. But we want you then to message when you arrive through Seesaw that goes directly to the teachers to say, if it be my child, I'll park and I'll say, Kate is here. And that gives the time the teacher to be able to get their gloves on, get the thermometer and the check-in clipboard, and meet you at our side entrance, which is an emergency door, but we are using that as the door that we can have your child come in and leave out of, just because we want to keep it self-contained on that side. So then that way the teacher will greet you at the door. And then we just ask that you as parents or caregivers wear a mask as you're bringing your child to that door. And that's when we'll go do the verbal visual screening and a temperature check right at that door. Teachers will sign your child in. You say your goodbyes at the door, and we'll bring them into the classroom for them to help them hang their backpacks, get their hands washed, and be ready for the day. And that's my big thing here is if your child is experiencing separation issues, let's definitely talk that over and talk about how we can make that transition from drop off into the school a pleasant one for everyone. Sometimes it's even harder for us as parents, so making sure we do that. So then the next one has to do with the children's dismissal. So it's just going to be reversed. When it's time to go, these are a little bit out of order. So we want you to park again. We want you to send us a message to say, you know, I'm here to get Kate. And that way we can get your child ready. We can get their hands washed, gather their things, and be able to meet you at that same door. And then we ask again that you wear your mask. We will go ahead and sign out your child, and we will say our goodbyes at the door to them, and then you'll be able to freely take them into the parking lot. This bottom one, if you're going to be late for pickup, or let's say you're running late for drop off at a certain time that we would expect you, just use that Seesaw app to communicate, especially wintertime when we never know what's going to happen with roads. Just that communication, we just ask that you just give us a heads up so we're not worried about you as well, and we can prepare your child if you're running a little bit late. If your child's going to be absent for any reason, we ask that you please contact me at the office number, my email, or the Full Day Rooms phone number, Full Days Rooms Seesaw. There's many different ways that you can contact us, and just let us know, the sooner the better, so we can plan accordingly. School cancellation, we do follow the Prior Lake Savage School District 719 for our calendar for holidays and days off of school. Again, look at that year in review calendar to know if it's affecting you for the half day and or the full day for open and close days. And weather, like bad weather, we will close and follow that as well. We will remain open as long as we possibly can, even if the district switches to 100% distance learning. I know that was one question that's come up a lot. If they went to a hybrid or if they went to distance learning, would we do the same? No, we're a separate entity. We follow some of the K-12 plans and policies, but we're kind of a separate entity. We're a private preschool, and so we need to follow the Minnesota Department of Health, the Department of Human Services, CDC, and what our church council tells us as they oversee our policies and procedures. And with that said, we will remain open as long as we possibly can in person. The partnerships look a little bit different this year. We typically have a real close partnership with McKenna Crossing, which is our senior living to the east part of our campus. And for obvious reasons, they are a vulnerable population, so we're not able to go visit them like we typically do. We usually do a Halloween parade and then pick once a month or so that a class goes and does an activity. So we're trying to be creative with how we can still stay connected with them. So more information will come with that. The YMCA, they have, if you're not familiar with that, it's to the east of us, or sorry, to the west of us, and they have closed their facility here as a fitness club. So they still have their childcare downstairs, but we typically would use their play zone, and that is not available for use because of COVID. So we'll just, if it changes, we'll let you know, but at this point, those partnerships are just kind of in a standstill. Our field trips, we usually do a nice balance between off-site and on-site. The off-site field trips have been canceled from the different corporations and organizations that we've been partnering with. And so we decided to do more on-site field trips just so we don't miss out on some of those activities. So we have a magician that's going to be performing here for the kids at the end of September, just to kick off our year with some excitement. Three Rivers District Naturalist through Richardson Nature Center in Bloomington will be joining us in October, it looks like. We're going to utilize our campus again, and we're going to do some bug studies and maybe some water sampling out of the pond. And we're going to talk about seeds and harvesting and things like that. Kid Create and High Touch High Tech. We've used them before as contractors to do our lunch hour fun kind of enrichment classes, and we weren't able to do that this year, so we're definitely going to stay connected with them. And Kid Create is going to come in December and do a fun Christmas present art project for the kids to be able to give to you as families. And High Touch, High Tech Science is coming in the week of I Love Science in February and doing some pretty cool chemistry show experiments with the kids. And I have ... because I'm super excited and hopeful that we will be able to get some more activities planned after the new year and especially in the springtime. So for tuition, the tuition is due the first day of each month. A late fee of $20 will be charged if the tuition is not received by the 10th of the month. A great way to avoid that is you can certainly go on the website. The far right tab says online tuition payment. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there is a way that you can set it up for automatic withdrawal. I know some of you have twins and you get a discount on that second sibling and you're not able to put that, that customized amount in. But what we've decided with the business office is that you would be able to pay both 100% full. And then at kind of Christmas time, you would get a refund for the first semester, if you will, of what you've overpaid. And then the second semester, if you will, at the end of the school year, you'll get another refund. So that is an option. The other one is you can always write a check. And then I can also take payments through Square. So if it's something that you know you're coming in on this Thursday and you want to make your payment, just let me know, give me a heads up, and I'll meet you to run the Square and be able to customize that amount. A 1 month paid notice is required for withdrawal of your child from the program. And this is new. We needed to make a policy given our circumstances. If Shepherd's Flock Preschool decides to close for any reason, so it could be COVID, it could be a gas leak, it could be a water main break, on a regular scheduled classroom day, the families will be allowed to deduct from the next month's tuition, or you can get reimbursed the cost of those closed days. So we will just take the monthly tuition and we will factor down to the days. This reimbursement only happens when we initiate the closure, and preschool is not offered to the family. If your child is sick, non-COVID related, let's just say they have a quick little fever and a 24-hour bug, whatever it is, they might have a stomach flu, we're not reimbursing for that. We never have, and we won't start that. If you're on vacation, you're taking some time out, or they went to have the weekend with grandma and grandpa and don't come back to Tuesday, you're still paying for those days. It's really when we initiate that. Now, the caveat is with COVID, if you or your child get COVID and, if your child gets COVID and you can show with a doctor's note that it was truly COVID and we needed to now quarantine for 2 weeks, we will not charge you tuition for those 2 weeks because it's over and beyond a 1 or 2 day that they would miss. So we definitely want to work with you as our families that are choosing to be with us to make this the most, to have it make sense the most for our circumstances. So if you have further questions on that, let's talk about it, but just know that we want to make sure that you're not paying for time here when we're saying that we're closing. So here's the monthly tuition, and this again, the full day includes breakfast and 2 snacks. The half day would include the 1 morning snack. So here's our breakfast and lunch policy. Again, sorry, this is mostly for the full day. The breakfast will be served between the hours of 8 and 8:30, and the breakfast is included in that tuition. So if your child is coming between that time of 8 and 8:30, breakfast will be offered. Obviously they can decline, but after 8:30, breakfast is not available, and we need to start kind of transitioning and cleaning up before the class starts at 8:50. The lunch policy is that we are a nut-free facility, so it's a nut-free cold bag lunch that comes from you, and we need that lunch bag, box, whatever it would be, labeled with the child's first and last name. They're going to be put on a tray and taken to our refrigerator in our kitchen until that lunch hour. When it's time to eat, we will go ahead and take the food items out of the lunch box and place them on a plate. Now, one question that lots of people have is they have those great lunch boxes that have already the separators in there that can even, like an insert that can come out. And we can certainly just use that rather than putting things on a plate. We just, the Department of Human Services just recommends that the lunch boxes stay off of the tables, and we go ahead and just serve it on a plate to just kind of mitigate those germs on the table. And then a choice of milk or water will be provided. Then comes the nap policy. So for the nap policy, for full day preschoolers, the preschooler will have one nap or rest period each day after lunch. It will be provided in a quiet area that is physically separated from other children. So we literally have 2 rooms that these kiddos are going to be able to utilize throughout the day. So the one room that is going to be kind of our breakfast, snack, lunch, science, sensory, messy room also has room for all the cots. And then the other room, there's a door that separates, so the child that is off their cot after 30 minutes will be with one teacher on one side of the room, and then one teacher will always be in the resting napping room. A child needs to be on their cot for 30 minutes according to licensing, and that way they can rest their mind and body for a little bit. It'll be a quiet, darkened area. The music will be playing after some stories being read, and they can just rest. If they do fall asleep, they will remain there sleeping until they wake up, or we wake them up to start the afternoon. If they are on there for 30 minutes, they're still awake and don't want to remain on the cot, we will then offer quiet activities in the other room. So each cot will be labeled with your child's name, just so we know that it's the same cot being used. You're going to be asked to provide some bedding. So it could be even one of those little My Pillow travel pillows. It could be a blankie that they like to cuddle with a little bear, also a blanket to cover them up. And then those will be put into a cubby in the classroom in between days. If they get soiled or wet, they will be sent home in a plastic bag to be laundered, but regardless, every Friday or whatever is your last day at class, they will be sent home to laundered and returned the next week. Cots will be disinfected daily. They're going to be placed 6 feet apart, or at least have their spacing to allow the head to toe placements because of COVID policies. And then that way there's going to be enough room in between. Their heads have to be uncovered, and they need to wear their footwear while they sleep because of, in case of emergencies. Our parent communication this year, like I said, we have the Seesaw app that if you're not familiar with, we'll get you familiar with it. It's a great app to have those communications on a daily basis. We send a lot of pictures and updates throughout the day to you. It also is where I'm going to put the monthly newsletter, the calendar. I'm going to do a weekly peek of the week on Sunday evenings just to review what's coming up. So that's what it will all be gone through. We also have a Facebook page, and I apologize for how little that turned out. Hopefully you've all been able to see that Facebook page and like it and hopefully share it. But that will be another place that will have lots of announcements. And so that Seesaw communication, that's the one. We were able to set that up for families if we had all the information we needed to set it up. If you didn't get a Seesaw notification today with your child's code and how to set it up, let the teachers know tomorrow on the Meet the Teacher or Friday on Hello Day, and we'll get that taken care of. You'll also receive a call, or I'm going to visit you tomorrow during the Meet the Teacher, just to make sure that we get all the information we're needing for your kids for full registration, and make sure all of those pieces are in place before they start next week. The difference between Meet the Teacher and Hello Day that came up in one of the other orientations is that Meet the Teacher is set up for you to come in with or without your child for 15 minutes with one of the assigned teachers, just to go over a little bit more about your kids so we can understand where they're going to be starting from. So that's important to do. And if you're not able to do it on the designated times that the Sign Up Genius indicates, you can reach out to Miss Dawn and let her know, or myself, and we can make accommodations. So that's what the Meet the Teacher is. The Hello Day is going to be on Friday. And the reason that they're split into 2 groups, A and B, is just for the number of kids we can have with a caregiver in the room. So the A and B is just for that day for Hello Day. It's an abbreviated class that you as a caregiver or parent stays with your child. And it's a chance for them to get acclimated to the room. We have a treasure or a scavenger hunt for them to do. We have an abbreviated circle time. We have time to play. They get to explore where their cubbies are with that scavenger hunt, get a little snack. So that's what the Hello Day is. So when they come back next week, when they start their first day, it won't feel so foreign to them. They'll have a sense of like, oh, that's right, this is where the blocks were. Or they know they want to go back to the Brio table because it had whatever set up and they're super excited to come back to it. So that's why we have it set up that way. We do have a couple volunteer opportunities that we still offer. This Parent Advisory Committee, PAC, That was in your September newsletter, a little bit more description about that, but it's a committee that I'm part of that allows us to do planning for the whole program in general. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to have you refer to that September newsletter with the information and reach out to me to make sure we've got you on the list for meeting that first meeting. The prayer team is made up of whomever wants to get together for that power of prayer to offer up prayers for us as teachers, for your kids, your families, whatever it is that you may need prayers for, that we can develop this prayer team in order to have that support in place. And then if you haven't done so already, there's an orientation online link, and that would have had you be able to indicate if you're willing to do cutting projects at home, if you have a profession or an interest that you think would be worthwhile sharing with the kids in the class, whatever those would be, that would have been filled out, and we will call upon you when we go through that of how we can use you and partner with you. Health and safety, we're almost done, friends. We're almost done. Hang in there. Health and safety, this is a big one for this year. I would say we want you to err on the side of caution this year. Please, please, please. So if your child has a goopy eye and a really stuffy nose, and they have kind of a glazed look on their face and they're more lethargic and it's not COVID, we still would recommend for you to say, you know what, I'm going to keep them home, not only for their well-being, but for the well-being of the teachers and the other kids in the class. I know that the full day program is hard because we have working parents, but I also want you to realize that then your child is just not going to have a good day if they're not feeling 100%. So I want you just definitely to make those executive decisions at home. Sometimes they're hard decisions, but just for the better of the good of the whole, I should say, we just want you to err on that side of caution, please. It should say nut-free facility. We're a nut-free facility, so knowing that if your child has some allergies for that, they're well taken care of here with what we're serving for snacks and breakfasts. So just being aware of that as you pack your cold lunches, it has to be nut-free. Parking lot safety, just being aware that people are going to be coming and going for when you do your drop-off and pickup, so just being a little bit more cautious with that. And then we do our fire drills monthly. Tornadoes drills are 3 times a year, so they'll be part of that. We also have a site relocation that is designated for in case we need to do a building evacuation. That building is called the Links, and that is over across the street from the YMCA parking lot to the west of us. In kind of where the new apartment buildings are, there's a building called the Links, and that is our evacuation building. And we would call you upon us evacuating there and making sure we have a plan to get your child to you safely. These are things that I want you to know, and as well as review in the handbook, so then you have those. We do have doors that are secure throughout the day, and then we also have a door from the inside that is also locked to get to the classroom. So there's 2 points of security for your kids. For when you're dropping off, realize that that emergency door will be deactivated in between drop off and pickup for that sake of ease, but then it will be relocked once all the children are in and secured for the remainder of the day. I am going to give you the door code though for our main entrance. So I'm going to be hopeful that at some point during the year, you're going to be able to come into the building, knowing you have to come in the building for the next 2 days. The door is going to be open because the YMCA child camp is finishing up, so the door is open. But the code for that main entrance, there's a keypad to the left. It is 2021 pound. So again, it's 2021 pound, and let us know if you forget it or misplace it. And then one of the last things for this piece is the pencil boxes. We're asking this year that each student brings a pencil box, and we want their first and last name labeled on the pencil box, and then the little goodies that go inside. You do not need to label all of them. The one thing I do want you to label though is the pair of scissors. So then we make sure that those scissors get back to your kiddos, but please don't feel like you need to label the pencils and crayons. And then I know that we are supplementing some of those school supplies for what we have overflow of. So when you come in, the next couple days, you can bring those school supplies in. We can make sure we're putting in what we need to fill them. Behavioral guidance, we're always coming from the positive. So positive reinforcement, modeling that behavior, redirecting. We're modeling that with how we interact with each other as teachers, with you, with the kids. So it's always coming from that sense of positivity. We don't do timeouts here, we do breaks. And so we all need breaks, including adults. So it might be that I need to take a deep breath and walk away from the blocks because my tower just fell down and I'm super upset, but I'm going to teach them that it's okay and we can take a break. We could walk away. We could circle the room and come back and try it again. We might need a break in the bean bags and read a book. So we're going to be modeling that for them and talking them through that to help learn that self-regulation. If things come up that are more persistent, we're going to have those conversations with you and the teachers of what's the best plan to decrease certain behaviors, increase other behaviors, and make a plan together to have that child be most successful. And then sometimes we do bring in the outside homeschool districts in case we see that the child needs something like speech or something with fine motor skills. We pull them in. So then that way we can partner with you and the school districts to set them up for success while they're here, but more importantly, when they leave here and going on to kindergarten. We have some special days that we incorporate into the classroom. One is called Precious Backpack, and we have a little stuffed lamb this year because our logo is Shepherd's Flock with the lamb. And that little precious lamb goes into a backpack, and every child gets to have a week with Precious. We have 2 lambs per class, so they can be laundered in between and everyone gets a fresh one on a weekly basis. And then that backpack, it has some different ideas that Precious might want to have macaroni and cheese with you at night. It might want to go for a walk with you, go on the swing, watch a movie, whatever it is. And you get to chronicle your adventures with Precious. And so that's a super great thing. Then the kids get so excited about getting, and then they come back to class and share about their adventures. The next one is Sharing Bag, and that's 1 to 2 times a year. And depending on the teacher, those things that the child could bring is just something that is very special to them. It could be something as simple as a stuffed animal. It could be a picture, whatever it would be. Some teachers have it correspond to the letter of the week, that if it's B, you need to find something that starts with B. So they'll walk you through that, but that's a fun thing for each kid to have. And then we always celebrate birthdays, no matter if it's during the school year or not. So if the kids are lucky, it lands on one of the days they're at school. Otherwise, we celebrate the day that's closest. And we do celebrate those half birthdays because they need to be celebrated as well. Back to school orders, we do have a Scholastic book order that circulates maybe once a month, maybe sometimes every few months. Just know that that way you can build up your home library and it benefits our school as well. And then we will have a back to school Usborne book fair set up starting, oh goodness, it's gonna be Friday morning. It's not gonna be tomorrow. So it'll be Friday morning during the Hello Day. So you'll be able to shop then, and it's a buy 3, get 1 free, and kind of plan ahead. We also have designed, I think, a pretty spectacular photo booth for you to take those first day pictures, just knowing that sometimes that first day when they first officially come, there's a lot of jitters and you may or may not get that perfect picture. So this way you can take a bunch of them in the next 2 days and pick your favorite one. And the photo booth is darling. And so take advantage of that when you come in tomorrow and Friday. Okay, the last slide I have. This is the last checklist that I need to have for the files for your kids. And so I'm going to send this link and another email to you in the next couple of days with our videos showing arrival and departure. Sounds like an airport here, but that way you can click on this link and there's going to be a checklist for you to just say that you're acknowledging and understanding the policies and procedures we've put in place and understanding what our tuition policy is. It's just kind of a quick, I think, like 10-question survey or completion checklist to go over to acknowledge that. You also may get a quick call from me or an email from me if there are things missing from your child's registration packet. It might be the online registration, it might be the COVID parent waiver, it might be a healthcare summary. Just know that I'm trying to catch all these different forms before they start. With that said, all right, it's 8:15. I'm gonna go to that last slide, and the other orientations, the parents were able to unmute themselves to ask questions. So I'm wondering if that will work. So if anyone has any questions, let's use this last 10-15 minutes to go through anything.
For the meet the teacher tomorrow, do you bring your kid or do you not want to bring your kid?
That's going to be completely up to you. Their kids are definitely welcome to come, and they can still play in the room a little bit while you have that 15-minute session. That's just fine. Anything else?
I have a quick question. If we're bringing pull-ups for nap, do you want those kept in their backpack or do you want that brought like tomorrow to keep in the room?
Yeah, that's a great question. So how we work it for if your child does need a pull-up during nap time, because for licensing, we can't have them on unless it's rest time. We do a stand-up policy, and so we literally have them help us put it on them, and typically we take the underwear and go over the pull-up with the pants while they nap, so then when it's time to take it off, we just are able to help them pull down the first 2 layers. We take it off. So if the pull-ups can be the rip off, like the side Velcro, so it's easy to just kind of rip off on the side, and then we are able to dispose of it. Then they help just kind of wipe and toilet if they need to, and then pull up on their own. We just want those labeled like in the package, and we can put them in their cubby on the inside with their napping things. Anything else? All right, let's do this. If you have questions after we disconnect here, go ahead and email, and I will try to answer them still this evening or tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I'm going to come in periodically just to introduce myself and start meeting you tomorrow and Friday. And again, I just want to thank you so much, not only for joining us tonight to go through this information, but again, to just believing in our program and know that your child is in such good hands with the teachers that are in the classroom and with us as a program. We're just so excited to get this started. It has felt like a really long process to get to this point, and it's finally here. So welcome, and let me know if you have any questions, and we'll go ahead and archive this on the website. So I appreciate it. Thanks so much.